Here with Martin today. We're going to try and pick up some thermic stuff out there if it's good enough. Thermaling is an essential skill in becoming a paragliding pilot. I recently took Martin flying by tandem to give him a better idea of some of the techniques and strategies that I use to climb high and transition to other parts of our local flying site. Of course, there's always room for improvement at any level, but once you get it, you will always remember the feeling of staying perfectly in the core and climbing with every part of the turn. Martin said that he had been nervous and unstable in turbulent air and wanted to get an idea of how to deal with these conditions on a good flying day. Tandems are an amazing teaching tool for novice and intermediate pilots to experience conditions that are a bit beyond their current skill level and learn about timing, response, and strategy. We picked a great day to do it and had a massive climb to around 9,000 feet by linking two thermals from the front and back ridge. We then crossed over the power station to Pine and worked our way back to Regional's launch to climb back up again. Usually, I can give the passenger the toggles in flight, but Martin had a pre-existing shoulder injury that made that uncomfortable. But he was excited to gain so much from the 2-hour flight that he can use in the future. When I first got into free flight, I wasted a lot of time and gas money coming out on a good flying day only to get a 6-minute slider to the LZ. I was obviously missing something, but I didn't know what exactly. I remember my desire to fly with an experienced tandem pilot because I knew that would help me connect some dots, but there weren't any at my site at that time. I feel fortunate that I can now use this tool to help others get past the frustration of learning to fly in thermic lift. It's really about timely and correct response to the feedback from the glider. But as much as I can describe these feelings with words, nothing compares to actually being in the harness while it's going on. That's why this is the fast track, because there's conversation, questions, and answers about what is going on as it's happening. The ability to study the strategy of the pilot in command goes a long way as well. I was able to help Martin discover parts of the site in real time and discuss the do's and don'ts of flying the back ridge. It really takes a lot of the guesswork out of developing an effective strategy to fly our mountain site, and I feel like he gained a lot from flying in more active conditions with another pilot. I'm always surprised that tandems aren't used more often for teaching novice and intermediate pilots. Martin was able to discover parts of the site that he probably wouldn't have gone to for weeks, months, or even years. So how was it?
It was great, man.
What did you learn?
I learned thermals. I learned how to go with the terrain and where to go with the terrain. And then also I learned the altitudes I'm supposed to be to pass from one side to the other, you know. And I also learned like where there's some sinky areas and when there is not. So it was very helpful. Yeah, definitely gonna get more.
What was there some things that you wouldn't have done on your own?
I mean, 80% of it, I wouldn't do it because I'm really scared. You know, the first plop, you know, I would freak out. And I learned I stay out in the outskirts of the thermals. That's why my wing always keeps flapping. You know, I don't go to the core, and I'm always riding the, you know, like the outer skirts of it, and it's always really choppy. But once you're inside, yeah, it's really nice.
So you weren't really like fighting back with it as much, like with if the lift was strong, you weren't.
I would not probably find the core, and I would be always getting pushed out, and I would be, I never could thermal in it. You know, I would never find the core, so I would be always getting flopped around. You know.
Did some of those turns feel aggressive?
No, not at all.
No.
At all.
It felt smooth.
Yeah, it felt smooth. I don't know why it's weird because it's a big wing, but it was super smooth. Like I'm more scared with my glider. You know.
There was a few times where we were going out of lift and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. That's just the feeling when you kind of like, you know, like your ass drops. You know, it's like just the feeling. That scares me still. Yeah, definitely. And like, what I don't like is the sudden, you know, go down and up, and you know, like keep dropping. You know, so I don't like that really much. So I need to build the bump tolerance for sure. But what's really good for me is I see how your wing reacts, and I can predict. I can see it with my wing that it's not dangerous, because everything moving does, I freak out. You know, I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing something wrong, I'm gonna die. You know, but
Yeah.
when we got the partial the 30% collapse, right, or up there, so now I'm not gonna freak out because I saw how it is.
Yeah, nothing changed about our heading. We
No.
didn't dive.
Yeah, no, we didn't
It's
dive
just
at
we
all.
got
Yeah.
a little tip fold and it came right back.
Yeah, no, it was quick. Yeah, well, it still scares me though. I mean, I'm scared of heights, right? So that's the first thing
Well, it's good to have clearance from terrain just in case.
Yeah, for sure.
And
But yeah, no, it's perfect. It helps me a lot. Like both of these tandems helped me a lot, I think. Like the first one too, because I would turn way further from the terrain, and I would lose the lift. You know, now like I can see that you actually go like a little bit up high and then down. You go with it. I would do turn and I would push out.
yeah.
I would be scared. You know. So.
Was it helpful to see like the figure 8
Yeah,
transition?
definitely. Yeah, 100%. The figure eight helped me a lot here, especially here on the 350. You know, because I think I'm turning too fast, but I'm not actually. I'm going way slower than we did, and yeah, it's perfect.
It's a response to the air.
Yeah.
You know, like if you did that and there wasn't lift, you would be diving.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but if the air is there, if it's pulling at you, then you're going to go with it.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
by keeping in that.
And also, what I learned is like you go with the thermal. Sometimes I try to fight to stay in the same area, and that's why I get so jerky, you know. But if you go with it, like if you go like that, it's way smoother when you're in the cord and like you're just getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like awesome when we're going up high. Like we stayed in one thermal and almost got to crestline in that one.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that
Instead
was
of just leaving lift, we took the thermal all the way to the back ridge.
Yeah, it's like a slower bus going up, right? But it's like super smooth. Like you can enjoy.
When we got there, we had 1,000 feet to play with.
over the crestline. Yeah, so definitely.
Did you? There was a point where we were flying a line of lift. Was that your first time, just like?
Yeah.
Pushing along a line instead of being in a bubble, so to speak?
Yeah, I never had that, except once soaring at a different side. It felt similar, but yeah, that was that was like up top over there, right? We were going down. Yeah, and I never did that before. Yeah, I always tried to go like that. I tried to find stuff, you know.
Yeah, which works, you know. But sometimes the air is there for you to just keep going.
Just keep going with it, yeah.
And follow it out.
Yeah, because we were going straight, but we were going up high. Like, it was pretty cool. Yeah. No, that is awesome, and every pilot should get a tandem, I believe.
It certainly helps. It's like the shortcut.
Yeah.
You know, because being in that kind of air, you know, it takes a lot of warming up to get your bump tolerance.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, my biggest problem is I get scared with the bumps, for sure. So, yeah, but it is awesome.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, exactly. Rinse and repeat, exactly.
Cool, man. Glad you had fun.
Thank you.